In this video, I'll show you how to split your worksheets into separate Excel files automatically. I actually built these custom buttons myself, and it's not only for Excel. With just one click, you can separate them into PDF files, CSVs, and more. So let me show you exactly how to set this up. And thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. So here's the data that we're working with. You can see that we have some sales figures for several months, in this case for a total of 12 tabs. And we want to separate each of these tabs into its own worksheet. So the first thing we want to do is head over to this developer area on the ribbon. If you can't find it, go to any other part, right click and customize the ribbon. Within this part over on the right hand side, you should be able to tick on developer and it should be unticked if you couldn't see it before. Then press on OK and we'll head over to developer to get started. The first step is to actually just save this file as a macro-enabled workbook, so we can go over to File, Save As. And here, instead of an Excel workbook, we want a macro-enabled workbook. This basically enables macros, which are a set of automated actions, so that's what's going to allow us to split these files automatically. Now we need to go over to this part called Visual Basic, so let's click on that. And I know it looks a bit intimidating, but don't worry, I'll be going over everything step by step. You just need to go over to this workbook and right click and go to Insert a Module. This is where we'll actually add all of the instructions. So here's the code that we're gonna need for it, and you can find it right below this video as well. It's available for free, so you can just copy paste it. And in reality, you don't actually need to know how to write any of this code. You just need to copy paste it. That said, in case you're curious, let me explain a bit more about what it's doing. So the sub part is kind of the start of the action, and what we're doing is splitting the sheets, and we also want to name the files. So we want to name them by the name of the worksheet. The dims are basically declaring variables. So when we say WS, that actually means a worksheet. New WB is a workbook, so a new Excel file, etc. And then this is one of the main important parts. So the save path. Right now I'm saying to save it wherever this current workbook is located. So in my case, it's located under desktop, under this folder called splits. And that's where I'm going to keep it because it's within this workbook. If you wanted, you could just delete this part and change it to something else. Then right below that, we've got these application parts, which are actually a bit optional, but basically I don't want to see any pop-ups for screens updating or any alerts. So that's what I'm doing there to remove any distractions. Then this part right here for the for each worksheet in this workbook, we're actually going over each of the sheets and changing their name and saving them and making sure they have the right name with the worksheet name. So the Jan one should be then called jan.xlsx, the Feb one, feb.xlsx, etc. And we want to do that for each of the ones in this workbook. Then we activate these alerts back, so they're normal like they're usually in Excel. And then finally, we get a message box. So once it's all done, it should say something like all sheets are split and saved into this particular file path. So the save path is the one that we instructed right above. Once that's done, to show you what it looks like, all you need to do is run this. So let's click on this run part up top. You can see here we get the pop-up, all sheets split and saved to this particular area. So this is the path of the original file. That's why it's adding it to the same spot. So if I actually check inside of this splits folder, remember it only had master files before. Now it's got the split of all of the different months as well. So if I click inside of the April one, let's say, then you'll notice it's named it April within the worksheet 2, and it's just got the April data in it. Awesome, so it's all working well, but it does have one major flaw, and that's that right now it only works for one Excel file. If I open up a new Excel file like I have now, there's no way for me to actually use this feature. I don't have a button on the side, and even if I go over to my macros under this workbook, it's just not available. So that's what we're gonna be working on next. But first, as you can see, Excel has a ton of hacks, which actually can be hard to remember the best ones. That's why I've teamed up with HubSpot to create a guided template with 50 Excel hacks to boost your productivity. By clicking the link in the description, you can access this resource completely for free. It includes 10 of my personal favorite Excel hacks and a further 40 to cover even more scenarios. The download includes instructions on how to use them and some sample data to practice with. HubSpot even provides short demo videos for each one. Personally, I find this Excel template most useful to refresh my memory as I have that sample data to practice with. So I recommend visiting the link in the description below to download this completely free 50 Excel hacks guided template that I built with HubSpot to level up your Excel game. And thanks to them for sponsoring this video. The next step for us is to set up this code so it works across all of our Excel files instead of just limited to the current one. And for that, we need what's known as a personal macro workbook. First, what we'll do is copy all of this, so Control C, and make sure you're paying close attention here as it's important you follow step by step. Then we can close out of Visual Basic. And now what we want to do is just press on Record Macro. Then as the store macro in, you want to make sure you select personal macro workbook in here and press on OK. Without actually doing anything, we're just now going to stop it. Then when we open up Visual Basic again, this time you'll notice we've got this area right here on the bottom called Personal Excel SB. Here we want to expand this area under modules and click on module 1. So just double click on that. You'll notice there's just this in it. We can delete that and just paste what we copied before. One small tweak we need to make to this code is instead of it saying this workbook, we should say active workbook. So let's change that in here, active, and down below we should also have it right here. So this workbook, we need to change to active workbook. That's pretty much it. So we can now close out of this. So let's open up a new Excel file with Control N. Make sure we save that as a macro enabled workbook. So file save as, and we want to choose a macro enabled workbook. Now, if I head over to the developer area and I click on my macros, I've got a personal Excel SB area, and that's the one that we want to run. So I'm just going to press on run here, and you'll see all sheets split and saved to this particular part. This time it's on desktop, as that's where I have this file saved. I'm going to press on OK. And if I look over to my desktop, it's this sheet 1 file. Awesome, so this now seems to be working across all of our different Excel files, but it's a bit tedious to get to by pressing on the macro button, filtering, etc. So ideally, we just want to add a button right here on the side. Alternatively, we could add a button on the top here as the quick access toolbar. So let me show you how to do that by clicking on this drop down, going over to more commands, and instead of popular ones, we want to go for macros. It should be this personal one right here. And then we just need to press on add, press on OK, and you'll notice I have it up here on the top. That said, for someone that's new to Excel, it's not very obvious that this is going to be a button they can use. So ideally we want to have it in here and have it be a bit more descriptive. So let's right click here and go over to customize the ribbon. And then here we're going to choose a macro, and it's going to be this one right here, but we want it to be kind of within its own group. So what we'll do in here is click on new group. Let's name this something like split, press on OK, and that's where we're gonna add it. So have it selected here and then just press on add. So I have it right in here. We'll also rename it so it's not this long ugly part. So Excel split is what I'm gonna call this, or maybe just Excel. I can choose the icon I want. Let's say we go for that default one and press on OK, OK again. And now you'll notice that I have it right here on the side. To test it out again, I've deleted all of the extra files we created in the splits folder and see if it's able to generate it based on this button. Awesome, so it says all sheets split and saved to the splits folder. So let's go back inside it. And now you'll notice that we have all of the files alongside the master as well. Awesome. So far, we've looked at how to split worksheets into separate Excel files, but what if you want these as CSV files or as PDFs? Those are also some common use cases. So let me show you how to add them over here on the side as separate buttons too. For that, we're going to need to adjust the code first. So let's head over to the developer area and click on Visual Basic. Within this whole personal part is where we'll want to make any changes. So let's go ahead and click inside of that under module 1, double click there, and we're gonna delete all of this code. Instead, we want to add this slightly more extensive version. So you'll notice that I have 4 different macro buttons, one for PDFs, one for Excel, CSV, and text. So these are gonna be the 4 buttons that we'll add in the ribbon later. And then the key thing to know here is that we have different cases. So depending on which button that we click, so we're gonna have the PDF section, and here we need to do some formatting so that the pages aren't cut, right? Alternatively, if we click on Excel or XLSX, basically in short, then it should open up an Excel file and save it as such, then CSV, and finally text format as well. So those are the key things that you need to know in here. And now we can just close out of that. And the next step is to add all of the different buttons here. So we're gonna go over to customize the ribbon. And first thing, we're just gonna delete the current one that we had made. So this Excel one, we're gonna remove. And now if we go over to our macros, you'll notice we have a few different ones. So we've got the XLSX, text, PDF, and CSV. So we basically just wanna add all of those in here. So I'm gonna go add, and add on all 4 of them. And we just need to rename them. So let me go put CSV in this one. And let me fast forward how I choose an icon for each one. Awesome, so you can see I've added the 4 icons and renamed the text, so we can just press on OK, and I've got these 4 options over here to the side now. Even when I open up a new Excel file with Control N, if I head over to developer, you'll notice that I have them, so they work across all of my Excel files. So now let's test this out with PDF as the option. I'm just gonna click on that and give it a second. Awesome, so it says done, PDF, and they've saved it to that same area as before. If I hop over here, you can see that I've got the April one in PDF format. So it's a Chrome PDF document. Let me double click on that and you can see I have all of the relevant data. To double check here, the final number is 168,000. And if I go over to Excel for the month of April, you'll notice it's exactly the same figure. So it's all working great. I just showed you how to split all of these Excel files, but if you want to merge them into one instead, you should watch this video over here. And if you want to learn how to write all of this VBA code, then you should check out our VBA course over here. Hit that like and that subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.